Hi guys, there's a complete breakdown in communication when it comes to what's going to happen to those disabled people who receive support via PIP. Journalists have been running stories about how some people will be kicked off the scheme. Then we have politicians saying the number of claimants on PIP is too high, but that those who need it will get it. This back and forth is creating a massive amount of stress and anxiety for those who need the support to live decent and fulfilling lives. Here, broadcaster Susanna Reid explained to Laura Kuenssberg the problem with the lack of clarity.
I think it's very interesting. We on Good Morning Britain have been inundated with concern from viewers about the welfare cuts.
Changes, yeah.
And Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, says, well, don't get upset about all of the sources and briefing and all of that sort of, stuff that you've been hearing in the run-up to the Green Paper.
Things that have been briefed by people inside the government often.
But given the opportunity to knock down people's concerns, he didn't. He didn't rule out the fact that personal independence payment will be frozen or cut. He did say that those with the most severe disabilities will still be supported. But people on PIP explain that, we had a charity talking to us on the programme this week, which say if you have a disability, it can cost an extra £1,000 a month simply to live your life. And so the anxiety that has been triggered by all of those sources and briefings has been enormous. People with terminal cancer wondering if their PIP payment's going to be frozen or cut. People with cerebral palsy, people with bipolar, people with chronic mental health conditions. And I think the government, a Labour government, he pointed out it's a Labour government, should come out and say, these are the people who do not need to worry.
I'm in almost complete agreement with Susanna here, because I'll explain here now. Why does the government do this? Why do they leak information to the media? Well, they do it for two reasons. One is to get feedback, and the other is to provide their friends in the media a scoop or a story that they can run with. So there's a sort of mutual beneficial relationship between the media and politicians. The government leak a story to their friends in the media, and then they run with it. Now, if the feedback from that story is positive, then the government can just say, well, this was official policy all along. But if the feedback from the public is negative, they can just dismiss any story and say, well, this is an anonymous source within Whitehall. We don't comment on anonymous sources. So they can refute the idea that this was ever a policy in the first place. And this is what they do. And this is how the media benefit from this as well. People in journalism, close to politicians, asking them constantly, do you have a story that we can run with? Do you have something? And the politicians leak this information to them. This is how it works. But this is not like whether Keir Starmer is going to go to meet with Donald Trump in the White House. This is something that's impacting people's lives. This is creating massive amounts of anxiety and stress to people who are on disability support. This is not acceptable, neither on the side of the politicians and neither on the side of the media, because the media understand, here's a story we can milk for a few days, we can amplify it, we can use it to drive traffic to our websites, to get clicks, to get likes, and to get a discussion going. The journalists, and I'm not saying Susanna Reid here, but many journalists see it as an opportunity to boost their profile, to boost their ratings. They don't care about the people involved. They don't care about the consequences of these things. They just see it as an opportunity to make some money. The politicians, of course, the government, see it as an opportunity to test the waters. Fly this kite and see what the reaction will be. But this is, look, the government can't do running commentary on every news story. They wouldn't be able to govern if they did that. But they are legitimate. They are leaking information. They're making a conscious decision to leak information to journalists, to the media, to test the waters, to see what the reaction will be. And you can't turn around and say, well, look, I can't comment on briefings. I can't comment on this. I can't comment on that. You have decided as a government to leak this information. You have a duty to alleviate people's stresses and anxieties, their concerns. Shut those concerns down. Say, don't worry, there will be nothing like this. But he won't do that. Because, once again, the kite is still in the sky. They're still waiting for the feedback. Can we push this envelope this far? Can we push this policy this far? Can we test the strains and the stresses of the public? How far can we go before they break? This is playing games with people's lives. Literally. This is not like whether the Prime Minister is going to meet with Donald Trump and let's leak some information about that, because that's not going to have really an impact on most people's lives. But this is having a severe impact on so many people's lives. I've spoken to people who are deeply concerned, deeply stressed at this moment because they don't know what's going to happen. The government have a responsibility to alleviate those concerns. And they're deciding not to, and I believe they're deciding not to because that kite is still in the sky. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and thanks for watching.